I can honestly confirm, after owning the CX-90 for closer to 2 years, the plug-in hybrid, that whether you get the CX-70 or the CX-90, that the Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I have the opportunity to get behind the wheel of a CX-70, a 2025 Premium Plus. For those that are part of this channel and subscribed, you would know that I have a CX-90 Plug-In Hybrid. And so I'm excited to get into a CX-70 to test, particularly the Inline-6 one, which I haven't had a chance to drive. Now, the CX-70 and the CX-90 are the same platform, but the difference is the CX-90 has a third row, whereas the CX-70 is only a 2-row. But again, I think the big thing for me is getting to try the Inline-6 versus the plug-in hybrid. But one thing I can say right away is I like these stock rims better than I thought I would. They're decent. I do like what comes on the CX-90 Premium trim that we have. Another big difference here is the front fascia. It gives it a it's mature, but it's more sporty. The CX-90 has this bold and handsome front look, but I don't think either of them are particularly ugly. I think that they're both very good looking cars. But Soul Crystal Red mica that this is fitted with is, I think, one of the best colors on an everyday car you can see on the road. Mazda has that nailed, and Mazda does a good job with colors in general. I actually had a Soul Red Crystal mica MX-5. I had a 2020 MX-5 fitted in this, and I loved it. It's just so beautiful to stare at. This example's dirty, it needs a wash, but even with that, it still looks so good. But yeah, it has the LED headlights as you would expect in the front. Nothing too crazy. I'm not going to do a full review. I think the big thing for me is just driving this compared to that CX-90. One thing I haven't done yet since I've picked this up is I haven't seen the trunk space and how it differs. So we have a bulbous back. It's the same rear end as the CX-90. And I honestly think that Mazda needs to rethink this design. I think they were maybe going for a German competitor design, but I just don't know if it works. I think it looks more subdued on the 70. I don't know. I think it's the same, right? It's the same. I think they just need to rethink this design. It's not completely there, but let's look at the trunk space. I imagine it's going to be deep since there's no third row. Yep, just as I thought. There is no third row. There are some mats because this is fitted with all weather floor mats, so nice and deep. I mean, you can fit whatever you need in here, and if you put the second row down, it's going to be really, really big. Comparable again, probably to the CX-90, but I'll sit in the back seat real quick, just see how I fit. Oh, there we go. And this interior, so I forgot to mention, this is fitted with that brown leather interior, and it has this nice sort of suede kind of feel. I don't know if it's real or not, but it does feel good. This is tan Napa leather, as it says on the build out card. But yeah, it's like the CX-90. I mean, I'm 6 foot sitting behind myself. I have probably 3 inches of knee room. So yeah, I've never had any complaints with the space in the car. But this interior is gorgeous. Now, I personally wouldn't pair this with a red car, but it looks good. Nice touch, too. But let's go for a drive. That's what this is all about. And a red one greets us here on the display. Mazda's dings that go on forever. I am familiar. I really like the way this is spec'd though. This dark wood trim looks good. We have the wood trim in our 90, but it's the lighter color, which my wife likes, and she likes the grayish interior. But what's really cool, I think, that Mazda did here is they made the steering wheel brown and they wrapped it in the black, so it's this dualistic kind of appearance, and it looks really good. It looks premium and upscale. And I will say that this suede does enhance the interior because we don't have that. Ours is all leather. So the cabin feels better. If you spec this car right, it is better. And this has all the features. It has the 360 camera. So seems to be good. I mean, it looks nice and clear and visible. This is, I think, a 12 point something inch display screen. I don't know, but it works. Gauges are as I would expect. They look the same, minus mine in the plug-in hybrid has a charge meter on the side, so there's like subtle differences. We're gonna put this in sport mode though, because this is about the responsiveness. Yes, nice red and aggressive gauges. So on my drive here to this point, I noticed that the front end does feel a little bit heavier because you've got a bigger Inline-6 turbo engine as opposed to the 4-cylinder. I don't know what this is going on about. The indicator was going off. I know I saw the car. But let's see how the transmission performs compared to the plug-in hybrid. Okay. Yeah, it's nice and responsive. You know, the plug-in hybrid is great because you have that instant electric torque. I mean, it feels about some... This does feel better, but I think the plug-in hybrid might be a little faster. But right off the bat, I can tell you that from a driving perspective, this feels more natural. I like this, and this does have a mild hybrid motor, electric motor from what I understand, but the same transmission, that wet clutch automatic. Wow, I really like that responsiveness. Again, I know I'm in sport mode, but this is good. Now, the CX-90 handles very well for the size of vehicle, even in the one that we have. So I anticipate this being the same. Let's... Ooh. Yeah, I like that. And I heard a little blow-off noise. Yeah, this is... The Inline-6 is the way to go. I'm actually surprised. The benefit of the plug-in hybrid is, of course, that electric motor, so you can get 24 miles range, in some cases 26 miles range, without ever having to get into that gas. So if you live in an area where you can use that, it's beneficial. But no, this is the one. This is the one. That 349 horsepower is smooth. The engine is smooth. The transmission isn't quite there, but the engine is. Let's go. This feels more like a sports car. I wonder, let's see how we handle this bend here. Yeah, I can accelerate into this actually. I'm not pushing out. This rear biased all-wheel drive system of the CX-90 has always been impressive to me. Has always been impressive. It's just incredible. A car this big being able to maneuver and handle whatever you throw at it does not cease to amaze me. Now, there's no adaptive dampers. It's kind of old school in that regard, which I'm surprised. The price point of this vehicle, I think, is around $58,000, which is, it's also the same price as the CX-90. So honestly, I mean, you're better off getting the CX-90 body. That way you can have 3 rows if you need them. Unless you just like the front end on this better, because everything else is the same. Oh, I love that blow off sound. Incredible. Oh yeah, this is the one to get. Yeah, but part of me wonders, like, if you were to pair this up against like an R34 GTR stock form on track at like Laguna Seca, like how well this would do. I know this is probably like a 0 to 60 from a straight line perspective in like 6 seconds because of its weight, but I think you would be shocked, like if you compare this to an old sports car, how it performs against that said sports car. Of course it's old, there's a lot of newer technologies, but that's not the point. The point is that this is a big behemoth of a vehicle that can hustle, and it gives you the all-wheel drive turbo feel that enthusiasts, at least in my generation, sought after. Of course it's not manual, but I'm not at a loss for power anywhere in the power band. Color me impressed. Let's do a 0 to 60 right here. I don't think there's anybody nearby. I want to get out of this construction zone, of course. Sport mode, let's go. All right. I can honestly confirm, after owning the CX-90 for closer to 2 years, the plug-in hybrid, that whether you get the CX-70 or the CX-90, that the Inline-6, if you don't need the plug-in hybrid capability, is the way to go. It's going to hold its value better, and the responsiveness is better. It's more sporty. It's from a driver's perspective, and it feels more Mazda, because Mazda is known for their driving dynamic. They're used to producing engines, not electric vehicles, not EVs. So this is the one to get if you're gonna get one. Now, I don't know, again, the transmission, I don't know if they fixed them from the 24s to the 25s. I haven't felt any wonkiness, but then again, when you go into sport mode, it kind of helps address some of the issues. Yeah, the suspension it's great. It's absorbing everything here on this bumpy Texas back road. And whenever I put my foot down, I'm not waiting for it to respond to me. It is actually very responsive, which I love. Okay, that truck's gonna go. But yeah, really quick one. My verdict, as I said earlier, is the Inline-6 is the choice motor for the CX-70 and the CX-90. In case you are curious, I will throw up my most previous CX-90 video, so you can watch that one and see some of my thoughts on it. But that's all for today. We'll see you in the next one. God bless you and your family. I am out.